Good morning from Yummy BTV. Wishing you all well. Sending loads of love to you all as usual. It looks like it's going to be a glorious day now. It wasn't looking like that earlier down here. Now, morning topic, and probably a big one as well. A real game-changing moment, but in the favour of the authorities and prison system and staff alike, if you get what I mean. It was the coming in of the so-called mandatory drug testing program known as MDTs. So after years and years of running about, being able to get high without worrying about a single thing, the mandatory drug testing was brought in to calm it all down, to make sure we think twice about taking anything, because they will come and test you and take remission, meaning days off your sentence, and add it on to your earliest day of release, right? You could, for certain bits, if it was cannabis, you could possibly get wing punishments like canteen and suspended and blah, blah, blah. But of course, A class was always going to be added time, right? So when did it come out? I believe it was 95. I thought it was the end, right? The reason why I say this, because I remember quite clearly this morning that I was in high down. Now, high down at that time, after, I think that was after the yard rushed me in, whole yard rushed me in Garth and Swellside, when I picked up a couple of those wounds. So I ended up in high down, but I absolutely loved it. It was like a dream come true for me. It was a category A at that time, right? Colin Mitchell was there, Starsky, Biscuit. I was banged up with a geezer called Danny Mahoney from South London, right? I think Ronnie Fontaine was there around about that time as well. Now, High Down had the biggest, that's what I saw, right? Apart from Wayland, I think Wayland had a massive visiting hall as well. High Down had a massive visiting hall, right? You could get anything, Everybody had stuff. Everyone was running around. Phone cards were in at that time, right? So there was loads of currency. And I was up to my old tricks, right? I think it was before I got put in patches. So the drug testing came out. During the first week of it coming out, me, my cellmate, the door opened about 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30, bang! Yeah, you got a random drug test, right? Random. I ain't having that, because with the mandatory drug testing, you can either get a random, where your name just comes out the computer, or you get non-random, which means you've been targeted. That means a prison officer on the landing, seeing you up to no good and knows that you've been taking drugs or scoring drugs or having some idea, or maybe he's heard something, puts you in for the drug test, right? So me and my cellmate were the first. We went down there. I thought, oh, effing hell, how's this going to work now, right? I didn't see the significance at that time, obviously, because it's the first one, right? Gone down there, they strip search you. Obviously, later, right? So we'll go down there, strip search. They give you a little plastic container, right? Where you've got to fill up to a certain point so that they can get an accurate test, right? So they done that. Of course, it came back positive. So after that, now, there was other times as well, right? This changed a lot of the system, by the way, because a lot of big name gangsters, so-called, who used to smoke puff, realising it takes 28 days to get out your system, switched on to the gear, saying, yeah, but I'm only taking it in prison. I'm not going to take it when I'm out, but I can't risk it in my B cat and my C cat and whatever and that kind of stuff, right? Because with opiate-based or cocaine or other substances, more than likely out your system in 3, 4, 5 days. I think benzo tablets stay in the system a bit longer. So that was the reasoning behind it all. Uncle Yami was thinking all of us are doing Big Bird. So it came more as a bird killer, because that stuff, I believe, kills the emotions. So you forget about the outside life. It gives you a kind of purpose to wake up for those that can't really face the music with a clean head. But remember, there was loads of men who were taking different stuff, right? So I ended up, I'll tell you that story first, right? I was in, all right, later on down the line. Well, all right, no. So when it got to getting moved around, right, during that time of the 90s onwards, you remember the Isle of Wight, Albany, Parker, Swellside, Blunderston, Maidstone, when we're doing the shift, Garth, Preston, you know, everywhere at that time Uncle Yummy was going, right? They had the power now. Because then what you're going to find is that those prison officers, they've got a card, ain't they? Because if they want to get you, if you're being cheeky or whatever, they'll say, well, I'll just get him on a drug test. That can mess up your whole sentence planning program where you're looking to progress and get out of the system. One little nicking or adjudication of ending up down a block to face the music for a drug test, especially if your crimes are drug related as well. But it becomes too much what they can do to a man, and what they did to me. By the end, by the time I got to the Cat A's, right, they destroyed me. But I didn't care at that time. We knew that. So they had this other thing as well. Now, when I was in the Cat A's, it got to that stage where they could even put you on closed visits for drug tests, even drop your regime down from standard to basic and take your telly and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things that go against you when you're habitual and not listening to the system and just doing your own thing, running around with drugs, right? Then they come out with this other bit they added on where you've got to give 3 negative MDTs, piss test, drug test, right? 3 months, every month, right? 1 month, we come for you during that time, negative. You've got to give 3 negatives on the trot to get off the drug program. So sometimes I used to give 2, and only because there was nothing around. And then I failed the 3rd one, so I'll have to start again. It went on for about 18 months, right? Nah, man, they took the piss, man. In the end, one day they come. You know, in the end, my mind, I got to the stage where, all right, you're not doing that. Okay. When I go down the block, because I used to run about and lose weight and that kind of stuff, I never used to mind getting a punishment. Because at first they give you can get CC, which is solitary confinement. Like you could get 21 days CC maximum. That's the most you can get, and you will get that for A class, right? For cannabis, you could get 7 days, 5 days CC, like I said. But of course, it's not all the time you're going to get CC, because then they brought in outside adjudicator, which is an outside judge, serious nature of the A class failing of the drug test. You go in front of him and he takes like 28. So if you've got 2 charges, and that's 56 days. So I mounted up something like 85 nickings for drug testing, and he losing 200 and something days in the Cat A's, right? But what I used to do sometimes, depending on what governor you go in front of, I just go like that, yeah, guilty, go like that. Because I worked out, hold on, yeah, you could use it to your advantage in the warped state of mind. Right? I was thinking you could get the 21 days CC, recover, and come back on the landing fresh. So I started to do that. It didn't take a lot of time at first, and I was getting 21 days, but, you know, filling back out, my muscles come back, get ready, start all over again and do all that. Until they realised that I like staying down the block, resting, and then they started saying, no, give him time, give him the remission. So either way, it didn't work out. But of course, I'm the fool that's going to face the punishment of not getting out as early as I should, right? So then there was that other time when I went to my first ever private jail, Loudham Grange, boy, Gordon Bennett. I didn't have long left. That's when Russell McVicker and all them lot was there at that time, where I've done stories on that. Now, when they come to test me there one day, because you know that in the end, you know, people will say, yeah, but you're giving it away too easy, man. Get someone to piss in a bottle, right? And so there's this negative. So have it from the night before so it doesn't go stale. Be on point for when they come for you. So that you're using someone, get a piece of elastic, get the bottle, tie it down the end of your ball bag down there, right? And when you go into the room to be strip search or whatever, they can't see it underneath there, right? So then you leak out it's somebody else's urine. Negative. But I never used to bother with it. And then they come with, yeah, just throw bleach in it and mess it up, yummy. The time that I did it, right, I put the bleach in a little bit in a tablet, but they could see underneath the foreskin where I had it covered. I mean, nothing ever worked out for me. And then one time I decided to do it in Loudham Grange, right? Them lot was laughing as you're taking a piss out of me. I went with a medicine bottle. them little brown things you get from the pharmacy. I forgot what it was, probably hay fever tablets or something during that time. So I got someone to wee-wee in it. And then when they called me, I stalled them. Yeah, I'm coming. They were waiting at the gate. You know, the privates was a bit more relaxed. Yeah, well, wait down here, get your kit on, and you're coming for a drug test. That's 3 or 4 people, like, mine's targeted. As usual, a lot of mine were targeted. So I got someone to pee in the bottle, went down there, put the elastic on for the first time. I thought, yeah, got it. I ain't gonna lose no days. I think I only had about 2 months left as well. I went in there, they searched me, they never found it. I went in the toilet, I wee-weed, I poured the thing out, right? Oh God, you ain't gonna believe this one. The geezer that wee-weed in it, what he said to me was, nah, it's there's no A class in it, but we come back with cannabis anyway, right? Imagine that, right? So I've got that wrong. But the killer one where I hit the bottle afterwards, right? I put it on the side when I came out of the room, but just left it behind the toilet roll, put it down into the toilet roll. They found the bottle later on, right? And it had my name on the bottle. Yami, yeah, his medicine bottle. Tucker Lynch said to me, the greatest. He goes, I've never known the greatest leave something with his own name on it so that he gets nicked. Fucking hell. It changed a lot of things in the system and made big addicts out of a lot of men. Soon, just going to go and do a bit of training and maybe some more action later on.